how the editing machine works while you do this? It'll make your mom feel better.
Yeah.
That last night when she danced in the headlights, that'd be great. Get to it tomorrow, okay?
Well, my friends, we made it to the end of 2022. It was a year filled with joy, heartbreak, but most importantly, a full-blown return to our favorite place, the movie theaters. '22 was the year the big screens were back at full capacity and brought along with it an abundance of unforgettable movies for us to fall in love with. Before we bring in the new year, we wanted to take a look back to appreciate the best films of this year.
Come on, Vengeance.
Just don't make any moves without me, understand? It's no more dangerous than you know.
And for this list, we're going to look at theatrical wide-release movies. As you can imagine, the competition was cutthroat, from titles from virtually every genre vying for a spot on our list. But using our ranking formula that takes into consideration a movie's number of reviews, we boiled it down to the top 10. So with all of that out of the way, noisemakers in hand, let's do our famous final countdown of the year as we look at the best movies of 2022. Number 10, Till. Till is a profoundly emotional and cinematic film about the true story of Mamie Till Mobley's relentless pursuit of justice for her 14-year-old son, Emmett Till, who in 1955 was brutally lynched while visiting his cousins in Mississippi. In Mamie's poignant journey of grief turned to action, we see the universal power of a mother's ability to change the world. Starring Danielle Deadwyler, Jalen Hall, Frankie Faison, and directed by Chinonye Chukwu. Critics say Till reframes a historically horrific murder within a mother's grief, brought heart-wrenchingly to life by Danielle Deadwyler's tremendous performance.
What's wrong, Mamie?
We've never been apart this long.
He's just going to see his cousins. It's not a bad thing for him to know where he come from.
Well, Chicago is all he needs to know. I don't want him seeing himself the way those people are seen down there.
Those people like me.
Even you left Mississippi, Mama.
Mamie, Bo is growing up. You gonna have to let him go.
Number 9, The Northman. The Northman is an epic revenge thriller that explores how far a Viking prince will go to seek justice for his murdered father. Starring Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Laze Bang, and directed by Robert Eggers. Critics say a bloody revenge epic and breathtaking visual marvel. The Northman finds filmmaker Robert Eggers expanding his scope without sacrificing any of his signature style. Number 8, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. Benoit Blanc returns to peel back the layers in a new Rian Johnson whodunit. This fresh adventure finds the intrepid detective at a lavish private estate on a Greek island. But how and why he comes to be there is only the first of many puzzles. Blanc soon meets a distinctly disparate group of friends gathering at the invitation of billionaire Miles Braun for their yearly reunion. Among those on the guest list are Miles' former business partner, Andy Brand, current Connecticut Governor, Claire DeBella, cutting-edge scientist, Lionel Toussaint, fashion designer, and former model, Birdie J, and her conscientious assistant, Peg, and influencer Duke Cody and his sidekick girlfriend, Whiskey. Starring Daniel Craig, Ed Norton, Dave Bautista, Janelle Monáe, Kate Hudson, Katherine Hahn, and directed by Rian Johnson. Critics say Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, brings back Benoit Blanc for another wildly entertaining mystery, rounded out by an outstanding ensemble cast.
Alongside and underneath the parquet, you've been charged with a serious task. Because tonight, in this very room, a murder will be committed. My murder. You will have to closely observe the crime. Consider what you know about each other. Know that across the island I've hidden clues. Some may be helpful, some may misdirect. That's for you to determine. But if anyone can name the killer, tell me how they achieved the murder, and most importantly, what was the motive, that person wins our game. Any questions?
Wait, what do we win?
What do you mean? What do you want?
No, nothing. I just thought maybe there was a prize or something. An iPad or
Number 7, The Woman King. The Woman King is a remarkable story of the Agoji, the all-female unit of warriors who protected the African kingdom of Dahomey in the 1800s with skills and a fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen. Inspired by true events, The Woman King follows the emotionally epic journey of General Naniska as she trains the next generation of recruits and readies them for a battle against an enemy determined to destroy their way of life. Some things are worth fighting for. Starring Viola Davis, Tusu Mbedu, Lashana Lynch, and directed by Gina Prince Bythewood. Critics say, all hail Viola Davis, The Woman King rules.
Grab your weapon!
Number 6, Prey. Set in the Comanche Nation 300 years ago, Prey is the story of a young woman, Naru, a fierce and highly skilled warrior. She has been raised in the shadow of some of the most legendary hunters who roam the Great Plains. So when danger threatens her camp, she sets out to protect her people. The prey she stalks and ultimately confronts turns out to be a highly evolved alien predator with a technically advanced arsenal, resulting in a vicious and terrifying showdown between the two adversaries. Starring Amber Midthunder, Dakota Beavers, Stormy Kipp, and directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Critics say the rare action thriller that spikes adrenaline without skimping on character development, Prey is a Predator prequel done right.
I need to get me a horse. It's coming. Can you get your side loose?
Number 5, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Marcel's an adorable 1-inch tall shell who ekes out a colorful existence with his grandmother Connie and their pet lint Alan. Now, once part of a sprawling community of shells, they now live alone as the sole survivors of a mysterious tragedy. But when a documentary filmmaker discovers him amongst the clutter of his Airbnb, the short film he posts online brings Marcel millions of passionate fans, as well as unprecedented dangers and a new hope at finding his long-lost family. A beloved character gets his big screen debut in this hilarious and heartwarming story about finding connection in the smallest corners. Starring Jenny Slate, Rosa Salazar, Thomas Mann, and directed by Dean Fleischer Camp. Critics say poignant, profound, and utterly heartwarming, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is animated entertainment with real heart.
I think at first I was thinking, we're not gonna make it. But sometimes you just have to disregard those rules and think, well, actually the rule is that I want to be having a good life and stay alive and not just survive, but have a good life.
Tell me about what's life like now.
Me? I appreciate its different beauties, but it's not the way I would have done things if I was still in the group. But they're not here. So that's why I have the electric mixer. Ready? Ta-da!
Number 4, The Batman. Batman ventures into Gotham City's underworld when a sadistic killer leaves behind a trail of cryptic clues. As the evidence begins to lead closer to home and the scale of the perpetrator's plans become clear, he must forge new relationships, unmask the culprit, and bring justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued the metropolis. Starring Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Jeffrey Wright, and directed by Matt Reeves. Critics say a grim, gritty, and gripping super noir, The Batman ranks among the Dark Knight's bleakest and most thrillingly ambitious live-action outings.
Psycho! I got you!
Number 3, The Banshees of Inisherin. Set on a remote island off the west coast of Ireland, The Banshees of Inisherin follows lifelong friends Pádraic and Colm, who find themselves at an impasse when Colm unexpectedly puts an end to their friendship. A stunned Pádraic, aided by his sister Siobhan and troubled young islander Dominic, endeavors to repair the relationship, refusing to take no for an answer. But Pádraic's repeated efforts only strengthen his former friend's resolve, and when Colm delivers a desperate ultimatum, events swiftly escalate with shocking consequences. Starring Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Carrie Condon, and directed by Martin McDonagh. Critics say featuring some of Martin McDonagh's finest work and a pair of outstanding lead performances, The Banshees of Inisherin is a finely crafted, feel-bad treat.
Now, I'm sitting here next to you, and if you're going back inside, I'm following you inside, and if you're going home, I'm following you there too. Now, if I've done something to you, just tell me what I've done to you. And if I've said something to you, maybe I said something when I was drunk and I've forgotten it, but I don't think I said something when I was drunk and I've forgotten it. But if I did, then tell me what it was, and I'll say sorry for that too, Colin. With all my heart, I'll say sorry. Just stop running away from me like some fool of a moody schoolchild.
But you didn't say anything to me. You didn't do anything to me.
Well, that's what I was thinking, like.
I just don't like you no more.
You do like me.
I don't.
You liked me yesterday.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
I thought you did.
Number 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, collectively known as the Daniels, the film is a hilarious and big-hearted sci-fi action adventure about an exhausted Chinese-American woman who can't seem to finish her taxes. Starring Michelle Yeoh, Stephanie Su, Ki-Hugh Kwan, James Hong, and directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. Critics say, led by an outstanding Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once lives up to its title with an expertly calibrated assault on the senses.
Did you see that? Check this out there. What song is that? Thank you for coming. One more time. That's very funny. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
尽管离家让我心碎，我想告诉你，如果有来生，我还是会选择和你一起报税，开心一点。
And before we reveal number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Avatar: The Way of Water. Set more than a decade after the events of the first film, Avatar: The Way of Water begins to tell the story of the Sully family. Jake, Neytiri, and their kids, the trouble that follows them, the lengths they go to keep each other safe, the battles they fight to stay alive, and the tragedies they endure. Starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and directed by James Cameron. Critics say, narratively, it might be fairly standard stuff, but visually speaking, Avatar: The Way of Water is a stunningly immersive experience. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. In Marvel Studios' Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and the Dora Milaje fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with the help of War Dog Nakia and Everett Ross and forge a new path for the Kingdom of Wakanda. Starring Letitia Wright, Angela Bassett, Lupita Nyong'o, Tenoch Huerta, and directed by Ryan Coogler. Critics say a poignant tribute that satisfyingly moves the franchise forward, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever marks an ambitious and emotionally rewarding triumph for the MCU.
Get out of my door. Get out. Hey, I'm warning you, do not take another step toward me.
See how they teach the children to treat their guests?
Put a spear in here. Who brought a spear in here?
I like her.
Hey. Put it down, put it. You'll hurt yourself. Come on.
It's all right, princess. Small girl. I am going to give you two options. You can come to Wakanda, conscious or unconscious.
You need to be conscious of the way that you look. Walking around here with that ash on your head.
Oh, it's funny.
No, it's not.
I told you.
You look good.
The Fabelmans. Young Sammy Fableman falls in love with movies after his parents take him to see the greatest show on earth. Armed with a camera, Sammy starts to make his own films at home, much to the delight of his supportive mother. Starring Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, Seth Rogen, and directed by Steven Spielberg. Critics say part memoir, part ode to the power of the movies. The Fablemans find Steven Spielberg digging at the family roots that helped make him a beloved filmmaker and proves he hasn't lost his magic touch.
Sammy, we're going to use Daddy's camera to film it. Only crash the train once, okay? Then after we get the film developed, you can watch it crash over and over till it's not so scary anymore. And your real train won't ever get broken. One more thing, Dolly. Let's not tell your father. It'll be our secret movie, just yours and mine. Okay?
Okay.
And finally, number 1, Top Gun Maverick. After more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. When he finds himself training a detachment of Top Gun graduates for a specialized mission, the likes of which no living pilot has ever seen, Maverick encounters Lieutenant Bradley Bradshaw, call sign Rooster, the son of Maverick's late friend and radar intercept officer, Lieutenant Nick Bradshaw, aka Goose. Facing an uncertain future and confronting the ghosts of his past, Maverick is drawn into a confrontation with his own deepest fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who will be chosen to fly it. Starring Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, and directed by Joseph Kosinski. Critics say Top Gun Maverick pulls off a feat even trickier than a 4G inverted dive, delivering a long-belated sequel that surpasses its predecessor in wildly entertaining style.
Pumping in 3, 2, 1. Bombs away.
Bullseye, holy sh**.
Well, my friends, that about does it for us. Be sure to stay tuned to the Rotten Tomatoes channel for more of the entertainment content you love. Until next time, I am your host, Naz Perez, and we'll see you back here for more Top 10s on the Rotten Tomatoes Countdown.